Boingity bop, flippity flop. What is up, my friends? Welcome back to another video. I'm back temporarily to make I just feel like I need to talk about this milestone. 3,000 miles ridden on the Onewheel Gt over the course of the last couple of years. I felt like I needed to talk about this, share my thoughts on owning the Onewheel Gt for the last 2 years and putting those kind of mileage on the board, and what kind of problems I've encountered, the rewards, the benefits. We'll talk about that right now on my way to the bagel store. It's a beautiful Saturday Saturday late afternoon, and I'm leaving my mother's home and heading over to one of my favorite bagel joints on Long Island. And on the weekends I tend to travel, a little distances to go to. I leave my neighborhood in search of in other neighborhoods to find like the best, get the best pizza, the best bagels, so best Chinese places. So I pick and choose depending on my moods. But this one place I'm going to in Baldwin, it's one of my favorite bagel joints, and I usually pick up their flat bagels. But we'll talk about that when I get over there. It's a little 4-mile run, and speaking of mileage, I have a little bit over 3,100 miles on the board. We'll talk about that in a second, but I'm an original pre-order of the Onewheel Gt, and those of you that have been following the GT since its release, there was a lot of drama with the sensitive foot pads and the ghost riding. Let me tell you, since owning the GT over the last 2 years, we've had several upgrades, like the haptic buzz download, which warns you, and vibrates when the board is approaching its limits. I feel like it works really well and offers peace of mind. My favorite download of all over the last couple of years was the custom shaping, custom shaping 3.0, I believe it's called. It allows me to fine-tune the power curve of my board with such ease on the Onewheel app, and it's like it's the board that just keeps on rewarding you. You know what I mean? Like, you buy a board, and then several years later, you're rewarded with custom shaping, and it's like the board is reborn. Like, it's amazing. I was being able to extract more power. Anyway, it's one of the greatest downloads for the Onewheel ever, in my opinion. Owning a GT, it's like a lifestyle change. You experience the roads, the sidewalk, the trails, all from a different perspective that only one-wheel riders would understand. It never gets boring. Like, a perfect analogy is like you own a video game system like a PS5 or an Xbox. You get to keep feeding it money, to play new games, or else you get bored of it. And even if you're playing free games, like Fortnite or whatever, you still have to pay a service to play those games. Whereas with owning a Onewheel, there's no such thing. You purchase the Onewheel, and that's all there is. All you need to do is feed the Onewheel with land. You know what I mean? And you just never get bored. You can even use your board to DoorDash, and the board literally pays you back. Like, it's that simple. Especially like if you live in a really urban area with a lot of tight-knit homes and a lot of takeout stores. I'm telling you, can make a killing floating around with your wheel, packing the food in your backpack, and I'm telling you, can make like $30 an hour slinging food on the board, man. E-bike as well. So like I said, maintenance wise, with over 3,100 miles on the board, I haven't needed anything. Nothing has broken on the board. There's been no mishaps as far, personal error obviously, but not the board failing on me whatsoever. It hasn't happened. Aside from the tire changing and the aesthetics of changing, personalizing the board, changing the rear foot pad, I went with the Craft and Ride the flare out pad. I can't remember the exact name of the rear pad, but I bought the pad from Craft and Ride. Excellent wood, excellent quality, and I've had it the whole time when I had the board. I love flight fins. As you can see the right there on the profile of the fins. I bought bang bumpers and front fangs 3.0. Those are like a must. That I had the fins and the fangs on my XR, and it just saved my life plenty of times. You know, especially that rear fin right there, it keeps your foot stabilized, and that wider flared out pad just helps you stabilize. I like to ride hard, you know, fast and loose, so I can never always appreciate, you know, the extra stability. Here I am waiting for a traffic light here. You know, I tend to like ride on main roads. I try and stay off the roads unless there's a bike lane, because just around on Long Island, people are maniacs, man. They run you right over. So you'll see a combination of sidewalk riding and street riding. But here I am going down a side street. It's not too bad, so I'll take the streets when I can. But earlier you saw me cutting through a parking lot. Just be careful. It's very dangerous. That's a high probability of mishaps. You have crazed shoppers not looking where they're going, and here you are zipping around with the one wheel, and it often causes for problems. So be careful. Those of you who can, you know, I'm sure you experienced riders can vouch for it. It's dangerous, you know, riding through those parking lots. So I figured I'd just throw a little safety bite in there, you know. Speaking of tire changes, I changed out my original Future Motion treaded tire just recently at 3,000 miles, and I waited way too long. I should have changed out that tire around like 1,500 miles when I started noticing the edges of the tire starting to wear out, and over time the wheel became really like tipsy. You know what I'm saying? With the beveled edges, and it just made for a wobbly board. And I just waited way too long, because now I changed out. I just put 100 miles on this brand new tire. It's the Future Motion Onewheel GTS tire with the extra width, the softer compound. It's an incredible tire, and I got it on Black Friday. Future Motion was having a Black Friday sale, and this tire is normally, you know, $125 retail price, so I got it for like $90. So I mean, it was long overdue. The tire is amazing, and you know, maybe next year when I get my GTS eventually, hey, I'll be comfortable with the GTS tire. It's a really good tire, and I also noticed mileage improvement with the new tire. I was getting about 15 to 16 miles per charge on my old original tire, but now I'm getting about 20 miles per charge with this tire. I guess it has something to do with it. I have no idea. Maybe the worn out tire on my old tire was just not getting enough traction, so it was losing. Who knows? I don't know what the exact science is, but I can definitely vouch. It's official. I'm definitely seeing at least 4 to 5 miles improved per charge on the newer tire, and I'm a 190-pound rider. You make a case for, you know, clothing and extra shit. 200-pound rider. So what else did I want to talk about here? You know, the side rails. That's all cosmetic stuff. That's what I love about Onewheel. There's so many ways to personalize the board, and it's like side rails, dash bumpers, bumper guards. There's all different color combinations that I've never seen, you know, one wheel owner and their board look the same. I've never seen two boards, you know, look the same unless they're like stock. And what else did I want to talk about here? I feel like these one wheels are more reliable. I have, I'm an e-skater as well. I have a couple of Hurricane boards that have an M board. I have a juiced e-bike, and all of my PEVs have had, you know, minor to major maintenance issues. Whereas this one wheel, I haven't had any problems. Now, when the GT came out, you know, Future Motion recalled the foot pad sensor, and you know, being a one-wheel XR rider, I had sensitivity issues on my XR where I'd be stopped at an intersection and I'd have trouble getting it to engage, and just being scarred by that, I wasn't gonna mail in or opt to change out the front foot pad for the recalled, you know, the new foot pad that's being instituted with the GTS, or installed with the GTS. I'm seeing on One Wheel forums or in Facebook groups that for some people, the One Wheel GTS, the new these recalled foot pads that are in the GTS are just not sensitive enough when the temperature goes down, when it gets too cold. Now, I've had sensitivity issues with my board. Only if and only I leave the board out in the cold too long, and then I try and turn it on. Like, I'm talking about cold, like below like 45 degrees, 44, 43. Once I get down there, from experience, I've noticed that if I leave the board out there too cold, turn it off and then turn it back on, sometimes she just doesn't want to like turn back on. It's almost as if the foot pad sensors are frozen, because I would take my board back into like a warm house or a warm store if I got caught out in the middle of, where I was. Let the board just warm up at the room temperature of whatever building I was in, and like within 5 to 10 minutes, I'd bring the board back outside, and it pops back on again. That's how I know it's cold weather related. And I'm seeing it's very common I'm seeing a lot of people with the new GTS having those kind of issues with weather warmer, like below 60. Whereas with my board, I don't see any issues with the foot pad sensors at all below. And you're gonna talk like when you're getting closer to like freezing temperatures. So that's the only thing I would say that I'd have a problem with my board. And that's if you're riding in the cold. What else? I also notice this is pretty common with any electric, with any PEV. You lose torque as the weather gets cold. So I would say below 60 degrees is when you start noticeably losing some torque. And once you dip below 50 and 40, it's noticeable, some torque. I mean, your top end speed will be there, but your acceleration and your torque will be a little sluggish, for sure. Oh God, it's a great board. I highly recommend. One of my best friends for years used to tease me with the Onewheel. He's an electric skateboard rider, and he finally, that was at the Black Friday sale, and he finally invested in a pint. And let me tell you, this guy is just like a kid in the candy store. Every day we're talking about his newfound, amazing discovery. And I'm like, bro, you see what I mean? Like, I've been trying to tell you to get one of these things all along. Now you see what I'm talking about. And you have to get on one of these. I mean, if you're like a snowboarding, a skateboarding enthusiast, and if you're older, I mean, I'm 46 and I'm just whipping this thing around like it's nothing. It's just like with anything. You got to build yourself up. You got to condition yourself. I wear protection. I wear like knee pads underneath my jeans. I wear wrist protection. I wear a helmet. Even after all this mileage and experience on my boards, it's not even about me. I can get hit by a car and go flying, and then it's all over. Or I can hit a hole or something that I didn't notice. So yeah, I can't stress enough how important it is to wear protection. Yeah. So I'm making my way. I'm almost at the bagel store. I pretty much covered, most of the things that I wanted to cover. So for here on in, you get just bonus time with Turbo Joe here. Like I said earlier in the video, I got a lot of things going on with my life right now, and until I get everything in order, I would love to make a little return where I have more free time and can spend some time making some videos. But this was a video that it's been a long overdue. I've been wanting to, to talk about the Onewheel. I just love this damn thing, and I figured the weather is nice on this December 9th, so I went with the opportunity and went with it. What I can talk about is the charger plugs. Now I was about to say, now me and my friend, we call the charger plug, we call them butt plugs. I don't know why. I was about to say butt plug, but I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to call it a butt plug. It's that little green plug on the right side of my board. I found through Etsy, this guy that makes 3D prints, and he sells caps that will cover the side rails, the bolts, your torque bolts that are exposed on the side rails. And over time, those torque screws are, they're high quality for future motion, but over time, dirt and a little corrosion can get in there, especially if you've had to, take your rails off or whatever. So this guy on Etsy, just type in, go on to Etsy and type in, charger plug caps for Onewheel Gt, and you'll see the seller on there. And let me tell you, I love Future Motion and all, but this charger cap, and he sells them in different colors. This cap is actually better than Future Motion's soft silicone one. This one, it clocks, it's a snug fit right in there, and it's a hard piece of like quality plastic. So yeah, talking about my plugs there. But I am really looking forward to getting the Onewheel GTS. I've had to over since its release, I've had to talk myself out of getting it a million times because it's just not needed right this second. Although I want it, I just rather like reward myself. Maybe next year, like next spring or next summer. I'd rather let them work out all the kinks because just like I jumped the gun and I got lucky pre-ordering the GT. I'm lucky that my board didn't have any problems, but a lot of people had problems with the initial pre-orders. So I'll just wait, past this initial GTS wave of runs, and maybe next spring, next summer, I might get the GTS. We'll see. But I'm having no problems with the GT. But I would greatly appreciate the 50% extra voltage, the more torque. Holy crap! Since I have such a heavy foot, I'll really appreciate the launches off the line. Because like I said earlier in this video, especially in the colder weather, you lose torque. So I'd rather have that extra that power, for sure. And like 20 miles an hour for me is like that sweet carving spot on open roads when it's really smooth. I like to get up to that 20 miles an hour and tear it up, But with that new haptic buzz, it's annoying. You're constantly hearing the doot, 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 doot. When I'm playing around 19, 20 miles an hour, it's constant, and you can't turn it off anymore. Like with the old alert system, you can turn it off, the beep, 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 But now it's incorporated. It is what it is. So whatever. I've gotten used to it, but I'll greatly appreciate, the Onewheel GTS, the additional 5 miles per hour. From here I am being governed at 20. The GTS will offer 25 mile per hour cruising, and that's just gonna open up my game even more. Oh my god, I can't wait. It's gonna be even. Can't wait. So I'd rather, just enjoy my toy, my 3,100 miles on my GT. Just enjoy. It's paid off. This puppy's paid off. I just got this brand new tire, so I'm just gonna enjoy it. For now. And I'm never gonna wait that long. I think I'm gonna start changing tires out instead of waiting. I did, I let that original tire go 3,000 miles, way too long. I'm gonna trying, around 1,500 miles or so. That's what I'm changing, and I think I just can't. Like once I visibly see, once you visibly see the edges, starting to deteriorate, then I would say change your tire, because then the board gets more wobbly, Especially, if you're one of those deep carvers, you'll notice quickly, especially if you're a regular footed rider. The right side tire is going to be destroyed, and the left side, for some reason, the left tire doesn't get broken in as much. Kind of like how when you're driving a car, you have to rotate those 4 tires. So maybe in theory, if I rotated my tire by pulling it off the hub, the tire off the hub, and then reversing the tire, maybe that would be the equivalent of rotating a tire. Anyone think that's equivalent? Leave your comments down in the comment section. I don't know. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm in Baldwin right now, and I'm almost there. I'm about to make it to the bagel store, and I just never get enough of this board. I guess almost there. When we talk about sneakers, what's your favorite type of sneakers for the Onewheel or e-skating? I love Vans and DCs, if you want to get technical. Those are kind of like my favorite overall, as far as like light soles and the ability to like dance around. You can grip in on the grip tape, and then also you can break your grip and be light on your feet. I don't know. I just love the shoes. Here's my bagel store, 3 guys, and I try and come here on the weekends. They have my favorite. As you can see, like these bins are empty, and it's only like around noon. They close by like 2 p.m. on Saturdays, but early in the morning, everybody comes here and grabs their bagels. Their dozen bagels for their families. But these are my favorite right there, little flat bagels with everything on them. I'll bring them back home and get some fresh cold cuts to throw on there, some cheese. Really good. I mean, these guys can conjure up anything for you. They got a full menu of hot and cold cuts, anything. one of my favorite places. I like to support my local community businesses, for sure. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, stay safe out there. Talk to you soon. Peace.